11th of September. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, I come to you with some doubt in my mind because I remember a few years ago, we were, as journalists, literally forced and coerced to report that the presidency was going to run on solar power. Yes, I remember that. And I remember also that the last time the presidency hosted us as journalists and senior editors and senior journalists was in 2019. The president has not had reason to host that again. But we were made to cover in some few years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, that the presidency was going to run on solar. Please put the news items out. So what happened? That on Saturday, when the lights went off, the presidency also went off. And I called my friends at the ECG and I asked them the question. And we couldn't even buy credit with our own app, the ECG app, so-called, that we go and we downloaded and with our own money and our own data that we spend to do it. Presidency. They asked us to come and cover that the presidency will use solar panels to generate power. So what happened? Somebody needs to explain to us, because it is actually very disrespectful and very deceiving or deceptive that we were given an opportunity to come to the presidency to cover and say that we will, going forward, use solar panels at the presidency to generate power. And then the lights go off. Inka presidency now use solar panel. Inka lights go off. And I decided to use this because there's Ministry of Energy, there's City Newsroom, there's Ghana Web, there's a Ministry of Energy, there's 3news.com, there's all the big websites. They are all there. And we were made to, we were made to cover it. This is not fake news. So what happened? What went wrong? And why is nobody explaining? Is the presidency really running on solar power? Or the presidency decided to give themselves a showdown? And speaking of showdown, the other time I was discussing with another senior citizen, and he said, oh, you see my friends in the MPP, Kennedy Japong, Alan Tremantin, they are complaining about being given a showdown, their agents being chased, some being beaten. And they said, oh, when the 8 people were killed in the elections for 2020, did the 2 of them complain? They didn't complain. People were beating in 2020. Nobody complained. Macho Kaka is still dead. Ahmed Swali dead. They didn't complain. They actually took contracts and appointments from the same supervising authority. They showed them something small. They are complaining. Something small, very little. They are complaining. So as for us Ghanaians, we are eligible to take the beatings and everything else. But when it comes to them, it is okay. This was the words of a senior citizen of this country. A senior citizen. Take me to Temamoto Way, please. And we were promised a lot of things on the Temamoto Way. In fact, in 2020, the president promised that Temamoto Way was going to be fixed. He actually spoke at the SONA, State of the Nation address, and said that monies had been secured and was going to be done. Look at the state of Temamoto Way. On Friday, I met my friend Lord Latte, who said he burst 2 tires on his way to St. Joseph Anglican Church for the memorial requiem mass for, what do you call it, Mr. J.O. Mills, and Pinko Spinkra was there. And he burst 2 tires. Temamoto Way. Show the other pictures of the Temamoto Way. Just flash the pictures on the air. And we all pretend that the Temamoto Way is okay. We have actually put asphalt on concrete. The Temamoto Way, as we know it, is expired. They said Nanado said we were going to convert it into 6 lanes. Plenty talk. Plenty raps. Here we are, Tema Motorway. Today it's a death trap. Whether you are going to Tema or returning to Accra, it's a death trap. We had a lawyer in this country who's also a roads minister who jumped the gun when finance minister said, subject to the approval of parliament, we were going to cancel the road tolls. He went ahead and canceled the road tolls, and he made mention to the fact that people were actually causing, they were being chaotic. Or say Chairman Saboso MP for Swami was stood in parliament and corroborated that falsehood that they put out there. Now ask, which of the 38 tolling points were people fighting at? Ghanaians are not silly. Up until today, we have not answered. But he went ahead, even without parliamentary approval, he went ahead and cancelled the road tolls. Mr. Makwata, lawyer. Today, the tolling points, right, the toll booths, they have become homes for homeless people. And even the debris after that accident on the Tema Motorway has not been cleared. He's still road minister. Mr. President says he's happy with the work he's doing. When we stand here to speak, we talk about what is existing. Oh, what is existing? It's a sad thing. The Tema Motorway is a death trap, and there's a concern to many Ghanaians. People can't speak about it because people are afraid to be attacked. The Tema Motorway is dark. There are no street lights. It's the pothole ridden. The metals, the iron rods are piercing out. It's just a sorry sight. So if you don't know and you're using it for the first time, you'll be in trouble. I am not the one saying it. Drive on the motorway today and see. Drive on it and see how it is. But of course, in a country where even common traffic lights we can't fix. I stood here and I praised Henry Quarty and the Regional Coordinating Council that they had new street lights that they said they were going to distribute. Up until now, basically, the traffic lights are not working, street lights are not working. Henry Quarty is still there. He took my funds for free. He took the funds for free. He will finish and come and tell us that he's doing operation clean your frontage. Fix the street lights. You talk too much. Okasa too much. Fix the street lights. Fix the traffic lights. That's what we are calling for. Play Mustapha AbdulHamid's video for me.
It is not the leanness or bigness of a government that determines its output and its ultimate performance. We have had in the history of this country governments that are smaller, that have landed this country in bigger debt and bigger mess than governments that have had bigger, if you want, ministers. For example, the Akufo government, apart from this Akufo Addo government, would have been the government that had the biggest number of ministers and deputy ministers. But everybody knows President Kufuor's record in this country. Everybody knows at the end of President Kufuor's government what we did for this nation. Those who came subsequently after that and created all the financial mess that we have on our hands, which we are still dealing with, had smaller governments. So I can purport to run a government with 10 ministers and still create an avenue for them to loot our nation, if that is what the Ghanaian people want. Or to have a government that is bigger than that, but which has people of integrity, of honesty, who are on the job and doing the things that ought to be done. It is not about leanness or bigness. It is about, at the end of the day, what will be the deliverables, what it is that we shall do. For example, I gave you the example of Adjo Asafo, who is being appointed or nominated as Minister for Procurement. Everybody knows over the years in this country that procurement has been the biggest source of fleecing our national coffers. So now you want to get somebody on that job who will protect the public purse and ensure that we have value for money procurement and end all this business of sole sourcing, which has no purpose. So you may want to pay a certain number of ministers to protect the bigger purse, or to appoint a smaller number of ministers and let them milk the national coffers. We have chosen the former, which is appoint such number of ministers as will create efficiency, productivity, and ensure value for money dealings in order to protect our country's public purse. That's the path that Akufo Addo has chosen. And as I said, a leader is somebody who chooses the uncharted path. A leader who does out of the ordinary things that will seem at the initial stages to be unpopular, but at the end of the day delivers the results that makes the people excited. And this is the path. But of course, every other minister that you appoint, even if it is 1 cedi extra, it's an extra burden on the public purse. That's not the problem. But what we are saying is that it is what will bring efficiency, and it is what ultimately will help to protect the bigger money. Are you following me? I am not in the business of going back to history and recalling things and sounding too partisan. But really, if you have 3 ministers of state at the Attorney General's department, okay, who will not pay 51 million cedis to somebody, versus 1 Attorney General who will recklessly sign off Ghana's money, which would you prefer? So I am saying that I will choose an Attorney General and 2 deputies who will scrutinize public contracts and scrutinize things and make sure that we are protecting the bigger money that we could lose, as opposed to 1 person who will sit there and carelessly sign off government's money. As I said, leadership is about choices. This is the path that President Akufo Addo has chosen in order at the end of his term to be able to account to the people and say, this is how far the Lord has brought.
You know why I take Dr. Mustapha AbdulHamid serious? He's a PhD holder and is also a sheikh, a Muslim cleric. So I respect him so much, which means that he is knowledgeable in both fields, and then when he speaks, it carries a lot of weight. I'm sure you heard him. When Adjo Asafo was procurement minister, an MP for Dom Kwabenya, she wants to run again. In any serious country, she wouldn't have attempted after abandoning her people, abandoning her cabinet role, abandoning the gender, children, and social ministry. Kennedy Japan is not speaking about it, even though he was giving 124,000 to go and give to her by the chief of staff. He has not spoken about it, but he says he's going to give people shoulder and he wants to lead all of us. Adjo Asafo, when she was minister for procurement, do you remember the procurement breaches that happened? She was minister during our COVID era. Have you read the COVID report? The procurement breaches. Have you read it? She was minister for procurement. Contract for sale. Manasseh Azuri, my friend and schoolmate at GIJ, he did an investigation. Contract for sale, ABAJ. PPA. So what was Dr. Mustapha AbdulHamid talking about? These were the early days of the government when he was information minister, and I said I respect him so much. Today, can he speak boldly and say the things he's saying now? Inshallah, we have to rescue this country. Can he say that? Can he say that? Can he stand before us and say those things that he did, that he said? Can he say that? He said, oh, it's not the size that matters, but it is the quality, the deliverables. Are we delivering? The number of ministers that we have now and the politicians' dream and the taxpayers' burden, are we delivering? What is your scorecard? They come at me and say, go and check my scorecard. I was on TV3 New Day. Check my scorecard. Give the 3FM, check my scorecard. It's my bragging right. The job is the job. We know how to do the job. We'll do it. What is your scorecard? The ministry that you are at now is moved from information to Zongo ministry, went to the presidency, What is your scorecard? Show your scorecard. Was it not Dr. Mustapha AbdulHamid who told us that he will be building Trasako at Nima? What is the scorecard? What is the scorecard? Show me the scorecard. What is President Akufo Addo's scorecard? Just sit in the trotro and say, Akufo Addo, Baumia, and listen to the commentary that follows. I ask people to do that all the time. What is the scorecard? What is the scorecard, really? And the things that he said in the video, can he today sit with people or organize a press conference and say the same things? That's all I'm asking. Play President Akufo Addo's video for me. We will play President Akufo Addo's video. And then I'll take you back to Tema because somebody just sent me, a friend of mine from GIJ, one of my mates who works at one of our state institutions. I won't mention because you go and trace him. That's what we do. We are too antagonistic and we are too petty. Pull that up for me, the tweet from President Akufo Addo. This was from the 8th of February, 2018. He says, I must make mention of the work being done to restore the Tema Way to its iconic status. Sona 2018. Akoesuma, lawyer Akoesuma, good morning to you. I know you manage the president's socials. I must make mention of the work being done to restore the Accra Tema Way to its iconic status. Sona 2018. The Tema Way has not been restored. The Tema Way is still shambolic. The Tema Way is still our embarrassing point. The Tema Way is still disappointing. The Tema Way is still a death trap. The Tema Way is still heavily pothole ridden. The Tema Way is still shameful. The Tema Way is still nauseating to travel on. The Tema Way is still a painful journey to take. The Tema Way. The Tema Way. I'll leave this here for you.
Motorway is in dire condition with deep cracks and potholes, making it a major contributor to road accident and making it less efficient. 136 people have died on the expressway in the last 4 years. Transport experts advise motorists to drive at a low speed to protect their lives, as the current state of the road puts more people at risk of death daily, despite the sanctioned 100 km/h speed limit. The debris from an accident on September 3 at the first toll booth en route to Tema has not yet been cleared.
I can say both drivers are no more considering the impact of the accident. It was very gory on Sunday.
The limited accessibility of 2 out of 5 lanes for motorists has caused concern among pedestrians.
The free flow of traffic at the toll booth is a major cause of accidents. If the toll system is no longer working, government should demolish it.
If you thought infractions on the highway are no more, then you ought to revise your notes. Whilst flying the Accra Tema motorway, you can count 4 or more illegal U-turns, and this is one of them. It is one of the major causes of road accidents on the 19-kilometer highway. Persistent disregard for road safety regulations, including parking without warning signs, and pedestrians and scooters crossing at unauthorized locations, lead to increased accidents. If government seeks to reconstruct the 19-kilometer Accra Tema motorway is anything to go by, then motorists and even pedestrians cannot wait to hear the sigh of...
Let those who have ears hear. Good morning. That's all I'll say. Good morning, the Tema Way.